Hi friends, welcome back to Let's Be a Church, specifically to another Project Chandelier video. You guys were so amazing with the last one, where I first talked about this project and plotted these note cards and did some lore. Thank you. Today I want to start challenging myself. I am kind of slacking with actually writing. I tend to really struggle through zero drafts because I'm a perfectionist and I tried too hard to get things right the first time, and that's just not gonna fly. That's just not how you write a book. You have to be okay writing clumsily during the first draft, just putting things on paper to have something to start to mold. And I'm trying to get better at that. So today I'm starting a week-long challenge where I try to get myself to write at least 2,000 words a day. So at the end of 7 days, we're looking at having 14,000 words added to this draft. I feel like that's a really attainable thing. I don't have anything super crazy going on this week. I feel really good about it, even though today is Tuesday, and it really bothers me not starting on a Monday, but it's fine. Today is Tuesday, August 20th, at 6 o'clock. I tend to have a hard time being inspired earlier in the morning. I wish I could just roll out of bed and start writing, but that's just not how my mind works. So these are going to be later days. At the moment, before starting this challenge, there's no way that's an even number. I have exactly 12,600 words at the start of this challenge. So by the end of this, hopefully that will be closer to 30,000. It would be lovely to have 30,000 words by the end of the week. Is that going to happen? Look at this. Look at that. Gorgeous. It was so nice out tonight, I had to come and write out here for a little bit. It's like 68 degrees, no bugs out. It's been wonderful. It's 8 o'clock. I've written 700 words. We're dragging. I don't think I was terribly in the mood to write today, which kind of sucks. There's this dog that is howling. And it's echoing. It's really quite eerie. That might find its way into my book. It is 9 o'clock. I have written 2,036 words, and not one word more. I'm spent. I'm burnt out. That was honestly a bit of a rough time. I'm not super thrilled with much of anything that I wrote today. But that's okay, because you know what I wrote today. Here's to hoping that tomorrow's 2,000 comes a lot easier. Day 2. I feel a little bit better about what I wrote yesterday. I think I was just in a weird headspace yesterday, so I'm really happy to have written anything. And I feel a little bit more inspired today. I feel a little bit better about writing today, so I'm hoping we'll get some good stuff. I feel a little bit scatterbrained. I just fixed something on my car, so I've been under my car for like 3 hours, and my head's kind of in that space still. So I sound like such a lesbian. Reel myself back in. I woke up early, like 8 a.m. That's early for me, okay? So it's been a good, productive day, and I feel really productive, and I'm hoping that continues. It's been about an hour and a half, and I've gotten 1,500 words that I feel pretty good about. Honestly, I've been like super impressed with my pace. Like, I didn't think I'd be writing this much this fast. I'm averaging about 1,000 words per hour, which is kind of blowing my mind. I really didn't think I was that quick of a writer. I think I'm gonna take a little break. I'm burning out a little bit, so I'm gonna walk away, finish 500 words a little later. I just sat back down. It's 7 p.m. I have 500 more words to write. I'm going to revisit some of the traveling scenes. The first one specifically, he's moving from a small town into a bigger town. That's all I can tell you. But I feel like I want it to be a bit more of an adventure than it is. So It's just 8 o'clock. I've hit 2,194 words for the day, and I feel really good about it. Like, I'm tired. I feel like I just walked all these miles with this character, so that's great. I'm at a great stopping point, and I'm really happy with the number. I have basically 2,200 words for the day. Yeah, and I'm leaving in a mood where I'm excited to return to this tomorrow. And I think that's honestly one of the best feelings you can have as a writer. One of my favorite parts of the day is when I get to log this into NaNoWriMo. Almost 17,000. Guys, if I keep this up, my draft will be done, like, in a year. This number, on the other hand, has gone up a lot since starting this challenge. Very curious to see how high it gets by the end of the week. It is Thursday, the 22nd. I think it's one thing to sit down and actually be writing, but it's another thing to be mindful and attentive about what you are writing. The whole intention with this challenge is not to reach 30,000 words by the end of it. It is to instill a habit, to get myself started, to inspire, to get myself at my desk. And the last 3 days have been honestly really fascinating, because the first one, I really didn't like what I wrote that day. But I met my 2,000 words, I got myself at my desk. The second day started really similarly, where I wasn't in the headspace, I didn't like what I was writing. But by the end of it, I took a step back, I became mindful about the story, about what I was writing. I became attentive. And I ended up really liking what I wrote at the end of yesterday. Like the last 500 words, love them. And now here we are today, this morning, it's 10 a.m. I am so excited and inspired to sit down and write. So today it's like, the word count is like the furthest thing from my mind. Like, I'm definitely gonna hit 2,000 words today. I am just sitting down to write meaningfully. So in a lot of ways, this challenge was successful on day 3. It's a beautiful day. It feels amazing outside. I have the window open. They're smoking tobacco across the street. And I'm really genuinely excited to work on my story. It is noon. I have 1,300 words, but more than that, I have confidence that those 1,300 words are not bad, are not terrible. My day came to a screeching halt. A good friend of mine had an emergency, so I was unexpectedly out of the house for many hours today. I got home at 11 p.m. and somehow just managed to write 700 words in 25 minutes. I kid you not. I really did not want to fail this challenge. Is it a quality 700 words? Probably not. So we're ending the 22nd with 2,021 words. And I'm so tired, I'm going to bed. What day is this? Day 4. Day 4, we're over the hump. Wow. It's been a long day today. As I said last night, got a little crazy. I honestly cannot believe that I met the word count last night. Honestly, I should have just come home and gone to bed, but I sat up and wrote 700 words. But we are still successful. We're on day 4. It's a little later in the day. It's 3:30. I haven't been feeling super great today, so I've been taking it really chill, really slow. It would not surprise me if I ended up finishing out this day writing in bed, because my body is like fighting me today. I feel really gross, so life happens, man. But you know what? We're here, we're at my desk, we're still successful. I haven't reread anything I wrote last night, I'm sure that it's trash. We're just gonna leave it alone for a little while. We're gonna continue on. Through most of this video, I've been working on, it's probably more like the 5th or 6th chapter, and just kind of writing as chronologically as I can, because I think it takes too much brain power to jump and get my mind wrapped around where things are and what needs to happen. So I'm just writing kind of chronologically to keep my head on straight. And that's kind of worked as far as like motivation goes, because I know the next day what I'm getting into. I know what I need to write for the next day, kind of the events that need to happen. I actually don't hear writers talk much about whether or not they write chronologically or jump around. I'd be really interested. I might take a poll. Let's honestly talk about that. It is 5 p.m. and I just hit my 2,000 words. I pretty much wrote that whole time, so that was an hour and a half. Oh, don't mind my light. I'm kind of really impressed. I really did not expect myself to be that fast of a writer, so that's cool. Again, things started out kind of rough. I'm not in love with like 60% of what I wrote, but as I got near the end, I found my footing a little bit better and started to have fun with what I was writing. This means that I just passed 20,000 words in my draft, and that's wild. I feel like it's gonna sound like I'm absolutely making things up. Had a family emergency that thankfully ended the best. It had the best outcome that it could have had, I think. Here it is, it's 8 o'clock, and I finally have a moment to myself. And of course this day would have had to have happened during this 1 week that I'm filming. I'm gonna try to write. I'm here at my desk. I'm gonna open my laptop and stare at the page and see if anything comes out, but I'm honestly not gonna hold myself to 2,000 words tonight. If this had happened on any other day, I definitely wouldn't force myself to write, I think. I also don't want to give up on making this video. Maybe I'll just tack on an extra day to this challenge, because I really could not have foreseen this day coming, so I decided to journal. I think it's hard to focus on a fictional story when the real world is so in your face. So today was hard. Is this day 6? Yeah, day 6. Today is already feeling a lot better than yesterday. So I spent the morning, again, just being at peace, just chilling, just taking some time to recover. And I've even been inspired to write. It's 3 p.m. I'm feeling a little disorganized. I'm feeling a little like I'm writing myself in circles. So because I'm starting earlier today, I think I'm going to take some time, put aside the word count for a minute, and just kind of get into an organizational headspace, clean up some things, maybe divide these chapters up into smaller chunks to make it a little easier on my head, I guess. But we're feeling good today. I picked one gorgeous morning to go to the cafe to write. But I sat in the cafe. I got my 2,000 words so fast. I sat in the cafe for about 2 hours. But I'm telling you, that's the magic of like going someplace to write, because suddenly you put yourself in this box and you have nothing else to do but sit there and at least think about your story. So I love going out. I love going to coffee shops to write because to me, honestly, being in my room, like, there's so many distractions around me in my room, other things that I could be doing or getting done. But being at the cafe, it's like tunnel vision. It's like putting the blinders on. It's like, no, this is the one thing in front of me that I'm going to work on. So today was a super success. I'm going to do one more day. So we'll see how that goes. Today is day 8, the last day. I feel good and bad. I feel good for having accomplished this week and written more than 14,000 words. But I also feel bad because now that it's over, I know that I'm gonna fall right back into a writing slump. I mean, hopefully not, but... So the big question today, and really throughout this whole challenge, was, should you be forcing yourself to write? And the answer that I've discovered is kind of a surprising yes, sometimes. To a degree, I think you should be. Let me explain. I think I found a really big pro with this challenge, but also a really big con. I think the pro to forcing yourself to write every day is that you get yourself started, you get yourself at your desk, you get yourself in this habitual mindset where you're waking up every day knowing you're going to write. You're spending every day in this world with these characters, so the story just kind of feels like a constant in the back of your head. Every day you're with these characters. And I definitely noticed over the course of this week, these 8 days, that became a much easier goal to meet. I started to really wake up every day thinking about my book, knowing I was going to work and being excited to work on my book. So that pro to this challenge is a really good one. It's a really great pro. But the con to this challenge, since I was forcing myself to write 2,000 words every day, there were definitely some days in this week that I really wasn't feeling it. I wasn't writing well. I was not being mindful and attentive about what I was writing. And so what I ended up churning out was kind of garbage. And maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe just having anything on your page to be molded is good. But sometimes it felt kind of like a waste of time because I'm sitting here writing, but it was kind of discouraging because the words I was putting out, I didn't like. They weren't good. So I think the way around this is to, yes, give yourself a word count goal daily, but make it personally attainable. I'm going to try to continue doing a daily word count, but I think I'm going to do more like 500 words. Because that will get me at my desk. It'll get me writing. It'll get me in the story every day. But on the days where I'm not feeling it, I don't have to force out 2,000 words. Am I happy that I have like 28,000 words? Yes, I'm so psyched that my word count got boosted so much in these past 8 days. However, I also know that within those new words, within that new word count, there is some garbage that I'm gonna have to sift through later, and that kind of sucks. But if you're like me and you tend to just kind of wait for inspiration to strike, it's gonna take you 10 years to write your book. And nobody wants that, right? So yeah, sometimes you've got to force yourself a little bit, force yourself to get started. And then I think the rest kind of just follows you. Thank you guys so much again for joining me on these crazy 8 days. And I'll see you again real soon.